Hey y'all, it's your girl Alfia Williams. I am currently the owner of Hallmark Movie Channel fan page on Facebook. A lot of y'all know me, and a lot of y'all really don't. A lot of y'all see my daily posts and daily schedules that I post. But today I want to do a review on Paging Mr. Dorsey, from one of the Jane Austen series. Um, right off the back, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I did not like this movie. And I know some people liked it, but I was not a fan. And I was really, really disappointed because I do like Will Kemp and I love his acting. So he played a character named Sam Lee, and Marlo Jensen played Eloise. Eloise is a professor, and she goes to a convention one weekend, and her sister Mia ends up joining her because her sister Mia wants an ideal proposal, which she did not get, and because she's very romantic and she believes in love and she wants that fairy tale. And I don't blame her. I love fairy tales. Big fairy tale person. Um, when Eloise first arrives to the convention and she's at the airport, Sam picks her up and he is dressed as Mr. Dorsey, has a sign with her name on it, and she's like, "Oh my gosh." And I can understand because I'll be like, "Ooh, that's a little over top." But I will say this: he takes his job very serious. He dressed up as Mr. Dorsey, and he was like, embracing it. And I really did think that was cute, but not at the airport. I will say that because it's like, "Ooh, I'm here to get picked up, and you're with a top hat on." But since he liked it or whatever, and I think Mr. Dorsey gave him, I would say, it gave him confidence, and I like to see it. I really did. I really like to see it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There were some cute moments in the movie, but overall, I would give it a 5 out of 10. It was just not my cup of tea. I hope everybody did like it. I know, well, not everybody, but I know some people, enjoyed it. That did enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. I was just not a fan of it. But we're gonna move along. The next movie I did watch was Love Jane, and I am a big fan of Allison Swanson, and I love a lot of her stuff. I haven't watched everything, but I have watched a lot of her movies, and I actually really did like that one, and I want to talk about it. It's called Love and Jane. Sorry, Love Jane. Um, was about a lady named Lily and a guy named Trevor. Lily worked for a marketing firm, from what I can see, and Trevor was going to do business with them. And they had a partnership. He owned a bookstore. And my favorite part when they first met, she was going to the store to buy something, and he was like, "Oh, it's already been bought online." So she said, "It trumps to what somebody has already bought in store, was trying to buy in store in person." He was like, "Yes, it does." And I was like, "Yeah, that is kind of, you know, I mean, because I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly, I've seen it happen where I've seen people buy stuff online and then they're going out there to pick it, and the people are trying to buy it and they can't because the person online has tried to do it. That's what I've seen before, but that was years and years ago, much when I was younger. I will say this. That was a little cute little moment or whatever they had. And she was like, "Well, I'm just trying to, what happened or whatever." And he was like, "Well," he tried to introduce her to another Jane Austen book. And she was like, "No, I want this one." And it was just funny. But I like how they end up together in the end. And, I really did like it. I really enjoyed it. I loved how Jane Austen came with her and they had like movie night in her room, and they were throwing popcorn at each other, and I just loved how Jane Austen and her interact in the movie. And can you imagine just somebody coming to help you with like dating advice? I know it's a movie, but it was cool. I liked it. I really did. I really enjoyed that. I would watch that more and more again because that was actually a good one. All right, moving on to the next one, America in Austin. Whew. I was like, yeah, I watched the previews and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good." And when it started, it was just like, this is not good. And I was not impressed. I will say this. I like Mr. Dorsey's, humor in there. His name is Nicholas Bishop. He's played by Nicholas Bishop. I really like Mr. Dorsey's, um, spirit in there. I liked his character. I mean, he really did like Harriet, and Harriet was not feeling him. She was thinking about her acquaintance. Well, not even acquaintance. I'm trying to say her beau at home, and she was trying to get back to him, and she realized that she loves him because he had proposed to her, and she was like, she said maybe. Can you imagine, like, you're a guy and you're proposing to somebody, and they say maybe? I know that would hurt. I'm like, dang, they just said maybe to you. So is it like maybe yes, maybe no? But I like how Harriet, spoke up her mind. I like how she was very free. I will say that she was free in the movie. Like, she spoke freely. I like the speaking freely part, but I just did not overall like the movie. But there was cute moments, and I'll give them that. That movie I would give a 6 because I was so happy to watch it, but I was not impressed. Um, I like when she went back home and she told the guy that proposed to her, like, hey, she was trying to, realize some things. And yeah. Would I watch it again? No, I would not. All right, we're moving on to Sense and Sensibility. I really did like that. I liked Colonel Brandon. I liked the dynamic. I liked the clothes. I liked everything about Sense and Sensibility. Like, let me unpack my notes. Hold on, like, bear with me, because Sense and Sensibility was on it. And yeah, when I first saw the first clip of Sense and Sensibility, I was like, oh my gosh, are we doing Bridgerton? Because I was like, it looked like it, but it wasn't. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I really thought it was giving Bridgerton vibes because I was like, okay, this is about to be Bridgerton. But it actually took my breath away. Um, the movie opens up with John, the father, on his deathbed. Dashwood is the last name. Finn is his wife. I really did not like Finn. She was not a really nice person. But I like the fact that her mom checked her later on in the movie. If you have not watched the movie, because I don't want to spoil too much for it, but I will give you a lot of spoilers. But some people, I will say this: when you're giving spoilers out, sometimes you don't always cover everything. But I will say this: her mom is gonna check her because homegirl needed to be checked because she was doing a little too much in some scenes. Even when it came down to her husband, trying to, make sure his sisters was taken care of and being. And she's like, "Well, that's your money, that's your inheritance, and those are his half sisters." And I'm just like, it's just people like you that do that to people, and that's not nice. And it's just like I wasn't really messing with her in the movie. Um, Mary, the stepmother, she was really upset that they had to move out of their house and then move into another home, one of the family cousins' home. And I get her pain because I really do. Because like I said, you're moving from uproot from one place and then move to another place. Eleanor, I liked her. She was really feisty and she was really, she held a lot of her emotions inside. And one of her sisters, Morena, was like, you don't cry, you don't do this. And she was like, I hold it all together. And I like that because, like I said, she was very strong and she was trying to be the strong puzzle piece and the puzzle that was all over the place because she was dealing with Margaret, Morena, her mom, and then her brother John, her half brother John. And it was just so much. And Edward is the guy that I'm not Eloise, that Eleanor liked. Really, she was in love with. And Edward had already was engaged to another woman, and Eleanor did not know that. They had been engaged for 4 years. And I could tell that he had fallen completely out of love with that young lady and fell in love with Eleanor. And I was loving every minute of it. I didn't know about the whole fiance thing until later on in the movie. But I would recommend that movie. That was a 9 out of 10. The reason I'll give it a 10, wouldn't give it a 10 is because, for the simple fact, Lorena sometimes was kind of aggravating in the movie, but Finn really was not my favorite character on the movie. I didn't like how John didn't do his word to his father, and he didn't keep his words with his siblings. Well, and I like the fact that Eleanor said, unlike you, I keep my word, basically. She was basically like, I keep my word. When he asked her to spend some time at their estate. Um, her and her siblings, or her and Morena, because they went to visit with their, I guess it was their cousin or aunt in the movie, and it was just a lot going on because the first guy that Morena really did like was really in love with, he was not a good suitor because I was like, why is she not going for Colonel Brandon? I'm really liking Colonel Brandon. He was really the guy that I would have been looking for if I was back in those days. But but in the end, she ended up with him and got engaged and got married. And Eleanor and Edward, I like their ending. And if you have not watched the movie, just go watch. It's really good. I love the costumes. I loved everything about it. I wish they'll turn that into a series. Like somebody said in my group, I wish they'll turn it into a series. I know a lot of people had a lot of mixed reviews about all the Jane Austen movies that Hallmark did. Two of them was good to me, and two of them was not so good to me. But I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope to hear back about people's opinions and views on it. And once again, thank you so much for joining me today. And I will be doing more reviews coming up soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.